Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this session. More people in the waiting room. Welcome to this session on using a Scout application to support the activities of local leaders. And we will today, or this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, depending on where you are in the world, we're going to hear a little bit of the experience the Scouts in the Czech Republic have had with that, and we have invited two of the organizers, the facilitators of that process to share a bit their experience and exchange with you in terms of how that worked out, what was the process, the needs they addressed, the results, the conclusions, the do's, the don'ts. If you would ever consider following that example, how would that work in your own NSO, and so on and so forth. I could go to the next slide. Just a little practical information. As you probably are used by now in these sessions, we're going to use an extra tool to engage with you to make sure that we capture most of your questions, information, reactions, interests, and so on. And you can either create a new tab on your computers, on your browser, and then go to www.menti.com, and then you'll use the code 285358. And there you will be able to either like, if you press on the little purple heart, if you agree or are in accordance with what it is said in the presentation, if you want to encourage our presenters to go forward. Or you can ask a question, and that's probably more important, because this session is supposed to, the intention is to have more of a dialogue. So it's a presentation of an experience, but also there's a dialogue on how this could be taken forward. So asking the questions, you have a little button which says ask a question, use that, and then the facilitators will take the questions whenever they see fit in the presentation. I hope you had the opportunity to log into Mentimeter and have it ready whenever you have a question to use the facilitator. Right, that is very much all from my side. I'm more than proud to give the floor to Andre and Lucky, both Scouts from the Czech Republic, that are going to be the masters of ceremonies for this session for the next 30 to 40 minutes. There you are.
Okay, actually nobody can hear you because you're unmuted.
Hello, can you hear me now? Probably, yes, perfect. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for all of you to come to this session. We would like to encourage you to use this menti.com and use this code so we can kind of get in touch together. And after our presentation, we will have time for questions and answers. So we will be answering the questions, and we can discuss about the different needs you guys have in your organizations or in your countries. So let's get started. Perfect. When you do a Scout trip, like every month, there are plenty of tasks you have to accomplish, and like, you know, choose a date, choose a place where to go, update the calendar, create invitation, maybe create or update Facebook pages, talk to parents, and stuff like that. And in total, in the Czech Republic, in our experience is that it's more than 20 plus tasks for every single trip. And none of those tasks are actually essential to Scouting. None of those tasks are made because, or their purpose is not why we are doing it voluntarily and for free. And there is only one task actually in all those 20 tasks, which is actually the one that is essential, and that is activities for kids. So this is something what we have realized. And we have realized that the technologies in scouting, especially in the Czech Republic, it's well used, but the technologies are not seamless. You know, I believe that the technology is good, or actually the technology is considered good when you don't even know it exists. And there are plenty of solutions. You can use Google Documents, you can use Trello, and a lot of stuff, but it's all those technologies doesn't have the context. It doesn't know how the scout works. So this is something where we would like to provide a new tool, and we started to provide it in the Czech Republic. So let's continue.
Actually, we realized that we have something which really helps the Czech scout leaders, and it has really hype because a lot of them wants our application. So we just ask ourselves, okay, so maybe we can help the different countries all over the world. The WOSM is, 40 million people organization. So to be able to do so, we need to know your needs and problems, if that is the same, and know your current situation, how you face the problems. And then we'll introduce you our solution, the app, as a potential solution for you as well. And if there is a match, we can possibly bring the app to your country as well. So our hope for this presentation is that we'll bring you the proven tool in Czech Republic to your to your scouting experience as well, to help you your experience. Yeah. And actually, I'm here, Ondřej on the left, with Luky. We are both Czech scout leaders. Luky was the educational commissioner, and he is also 20 years in programming. So he used to, I love just saying that he reduces the monkey job, because that's something what the technology can do instead of us. And I am Ondřej on the left. And I used to be the media relations commissioner in Czech Scouting, and we joined our experience and our attitudes and our energy to bring the app to the scouting. You can see also different pictures, like the right bottom, that's the Czech headquarters, Czech Scouting headquarters, or our workshops with Czech Scout leaders who are using the app. Yeah. So we can continue. And you know who we are, actually. And we'd like to know who you are, so we can really have a nice conversation with you. So tell us, please, which continent do you come from, so we and the others know.
So right now, there's a time to use the mentico.com.
Yeah, with the code 285358. Europe, great. What else? Brazil. They're speaking about the continent right now. Anybody from Asia, America, Asia? Great. South America, amazing. So almost all over the world. APR, not really sure. South Africa, great. Asia Pacific, wow. 13 people already told us. With like 5 more seconds, and then we'll continue. Amazing. There is almost everybody from all over the world. I can't see Australia, but maybe there is somebody. Okay, we can go Australia. Amazing. We can go to the next one. And right now, tell us about the country. So that's the Brazil time. Italy. Yeah, maybe not to the chat if we can ask, but to the menti.com so everybody can see. Malaysia, great. Portugal, amazing. I'm oh, Hong Kong, Guyana, Finland, Tanzania, Indonesia, Kenya, Luxembourg. Oh, wow, Kenya, yeah. Africa, Singapore. Belize, Central America, yeah. 15 already participate, 16, wow, 18. Victoria, Australia, here we are. Yeah, Chile, amazing. So 5 more seconds, and we'll ask you for your role in scouting, whether you're the scout leader or you're somebody in the regional leader, regional board or national board. The national board is the scout organization, like Boy Scout of America, for example. Troop leader, yeah, or some other role. Almost everybody from some segment, yeah. And we can imagine also the situation of the others, so we can think about the situation. Unit leader, yeah. If anybody from the chat is still having trouble with the menti.com, it's quite easy. You can just make a new tab and go to www.menti.com and use the code 285358. It's there. 18. So I think we can wait five seconds. And the last question I will ask you right now is how many scouts and leaders you have in your troop, if you're running the troop, of course. So the situation in different countries and different areas, that's really different. We know the troops with 10 people and also the troops with 150 people. So we just want to have some knowledge of you. Amazing, amazing. It's really different. Yeah. Okay. So it's often number about 20, 25, but also 50 or 80 or 150 is here for the Scout 5 leaders. Amazing. Yeah, 15 people. We'll wait like 5 seconds, I think. It is also important because we can export your answers later on and have a look on it, so we can see if the application makes sense in your country after the session. Great, thank you very much. We can move forward. And now Luki will tell you a story why it all happened in our troop, and then we will continue.
Thank you, Andre. I was actually the educational commissioner in one of our scout organizations in the Czech Republic, and we had a troop that almost got destroyed because of the low quality of the leaders that were doing their job. They didn't really have had enough experience, and unfortunately, we did not have a way how to control and how to see how good they are doing. So after that, I took over the troop, the scout troop, the entire troop, and I started to lead it. And I realized how many tasks me as a scout leader has to accomplish to running, fluently our troop. And as those tasks were really not essential to the scouting, they weren't really related to kids. They were related to administration, to planning, to tasks, and to stuff like that. So that's why, and me as a IT expert, IT designer, IT developer, I knew that there's gotta be a better way. So we started to make this a better way, and we offered it to the Czech Republic Scouts. And apparently, I wasn't the only one who was facing the same problems. So then we started to work on that application, which we will introduce you today. But before we start with that, we would like to ask you a few questions about the problems you are facing in your countries, because we can imagine it can be way too different with our country. So we would like to kind of validate whether our ideas and our problems are similar to the ones you guys are having. So I will kindly ask you again for questions. And the first question is, what are your pains in running the unit? And right now we mean, like, in general, the pains that can be essential to the administration stuff, but I cannot. So it can also be like relationship stuff. So whatever you feel a pain in running the unit in your country or in your specific unit, please share with us. No, we have leaders. That's pretty similar in the Czech Republic, yeah. Anyone else? Mostly admin tasks and risk assessment management.
Shortage of financial income here in chat. Okay.
Okay, shortage of financial income. Yeah. Qualified leaders, adult leaders, yeah. Scouts as a teenager looks more like interested in gadget than outdoor activities. Hardly cooperate with the school. Leader shortage, yeah. Documentation, interesting.
Documentation.
Adult conflicts, which is actually the relationships. Key motivation to participate online activities.
Less awareness of scouting and not enough material here in chat.
Finance, leader training development, adult commitment, shortage of volunteer adults, time factor. Well, I have to admit, it seems like very similar to the pains we are having in the Czech Republic. And let's go to another question. And it's going to be a little bit more specific. So what are your administration pains when running the unit? So if you can be a little bit more specific about the administration problems, like communication, planning, administration, tasks, whatever comes to your mind.
Anyway, whichever time, you may also ask any kind of question which is not related to the current slide. One question is there already waiting, and we will answer them at the very end of the presentation. So I just want to encourage you, if you have any kind of question, you can ask us through the Menti as well. And as I'm seeing here, the communication is really often. What does it mean, communication? Communication with who or between, among who?
All right. Communication planning for addressing scouts. Low experience adult leaders. That's very record keeping and communication with parents at higher level. Flow communication, information to be delivered on time. Communication between leaders or between parents or between scouts. So as I can see, the communication seems like pretty key pain you are guys addressing. Perfect. I will give you a couple more seconds if there is anyone else to answer. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And right now, for now, last question until we keep going. How much time do you spend on tasks that are not related to kids in percent? Just your guess. Perfect. It's pretty variety, I can see. All right, thank you. There are 15 answers. When we were asking the Czech leaders, we got answers something in between 40 to 60%. So it seems like in your countries, or your perception is a little bit lower in your countries, which is interesting. All right, thank you very much. So And right now, Andre will tell you some information about the story.
Yeah, as we now know, your problems which you face are pretty similar as the Czech Scouting, and the same was in our troop. This is the troop which I and Luki attended as Scout leaders, and our solution, which is the app, we'll show you just in a minute. It really started in one troop. So it was one troop solution, and then we just made a Facebook post in our Czech Scouting because we were proud of what we made, and we can go forward, okay? And we just told, hey, look at us, we are pretty cool. It's 21st century, and we are using app for the attendance. And I think like 300 leaders told us that they want our solution as well. So this is what happened, and we are totally so surprised because the hype, the demand for the app here in Czech Scouting was just very huge. Right now we have 520 troops registered in our app, which means about 68% of all Czech Scout centers. Obviously, during April, March, May, we had the COVID. So that was the time when our troops in Czech Republic were unable to meet in person. So we made just a side project, which you maybe know, the scoutmeeting.online, which we wanted to help those ward scouting to keep their activities. This is the Scout Meeting Online. This is not the Scout Upcut. This is only our side project. But maybe you are familiar with this one, thanks to Radu or thanks to WOSM. Okay, we can go next. And there was amazing hype amongst the leaders, but about the media as well. And we have like 10 media outputs here in Czech Republic, even the Czech television, the Czech radio, and so. So we just thought, all right, probably we have something which is really, really powerful, and we should ask the other countries to give them the solution as well if the problems are the same. So right now, Luki will introduce what the app is currently doing, which areas it can help you, and then we'll continue with our thinking about the technologies in scouting. You can also use the hertz or the questions whichever time, because right now it will be a lot of information, powerful information.
Thank you, Andre. So our app, well, first of all, let me tell you that we started our app just with the attendance, that you were able to track attendance in the app. And we were actually extending it as the requirements for the scout leaders come up. And the vision we are going to present you right now is going to be, we would like to have this version of app in September or in between September to December, depending on how much time we can spend on it. So, okay, so what our app is going to be about. We would like to have an app that will gather 3 major parts of scout leaders or units administration at once. That means organizations, that means a list of members, you know what are their badges, for example. Communication, in organization, there's also attendance, of course, statistics of attendance and stuff like that. Communication means communication either inside your scout troop, that means with the leaders, or outside the scout troop, that means with the parents or with the public. And there is also a planning. That means that you can plan your scout year, you can plan your scout meetings, you can plan your trips, or even the scout camps. So let's take a look on this right now a little bit more in details. I'm going to show you a diagram that may look like right now a little bit messy, but we will go through it, and I will show it again later. So you guys don't need to really focus on it right now. I will show you an example with a typical or common Czech scout trip. So, and I'm going to show you how the app can help you. And of course, then it can easily be translated into the scout meetings or also scout camps. So when you plan a scout trip at the beginning, you can create the tasks for your assistants, for your scout leaders as well. So if you have a bunch of people working on it, you can reassign the tasks. And right now, as I talked about the context, is important because every single scout trip usually have the same type of tasks. And as we said, in the Czech Republic, we identified about 20 or 20 plus tasks. Those can be pre-filled for every single trip. So you do not have to do it. You just create a new trip. You have there a set of tasks and you just assign it to the people that needs to work on it. So we would like to make it easier. And as you can see right now on the screens, when you plan a trip, it immediately goes to the calendar, and it goes to the calendar of the scout leaders, scout members, and also the parents. And guess what? What is really great here is on the calendar of the parents, when they click on the details of that event, there are two buttons there. One says my son is going to, and my son is doesn't going to. So you can the parent can actually easily attend or attend their kids, whether they are going to the trip or not. They can do it by single click, really easy. And on the last picture here, you can see it's automatically synchronized with your website. So once you create a trip in our app, it goes to a calendar of your parents, your calendars or a members, and as well on the website. So so the public people can see that you are actually doing the activity. And once you create this trip, the email immediately goes to the parents. Of course, there are again two buttons where they can say attendance immediately, and the parents that has not attended, they will be reminded, for example, a week before a trip begins. So you don't have to remind them by yourself. They can, our app can do it, because this is something that can be easily automated. The same thing is, how are they going to get data or information? One part is email, but we can also provide text messages. We can provide notifications in application, and probably also another ways of how to contact the people. And for example, you are planning a trip, and 2 days before you start, you remind yourself that you wanted to go to the museum. So you would like to, you need to right now tell the parents pretty fast that the kids needs to take extra money for the museum, for the entrance to the museum. So of course, in our app, you can easily send an email only to the parents of the members that are attending to the trip. So the other parents will not be, confused by that. In our app, we would like to as well, the scout leaders to be able to create a program to plan activities for the kids. Later on, we would like to analyze those activities, and we would like to provide a tool that will easily make scout leaders to improve their program. Right now, I'm going to show you again this graph and this chart. Let's take a look on the details a little bit more. So our app would like to help with the planning. That means that all the activities you have on one place, the calendar you have on one place, and tasks you have on one place. Another part is the communication, and that actually includes communication with the parents, with the members, of course, of the troop, and with the leaders, and as well the web and social. That means with the public. So we would like to do it in a way. For example, you are on the scout trip and you create some photos. So once you upload the photos to our app, it will automatically go to the parents, to the app, to the web, and for example to the social media. You don't have to do it on your own, because our app can do it, immediately, or it can do it automatically. And there is a next part I would like to mention here, which is a news feed, which would be something like a Facebook news feed, which you are probably familiar of, where parents can go to an app, to the specific scout trip, for example, and ask, do we need to take a, I don't know, knotting rope? And everybody can see that question, leader can answer it, and all the parents can see the answer, so they don't have to ask again. So you actually can easily, communicate with the people, and you will have one central point where you can communicate with your parents, members, and leaders. And as well, as you can see on this chart, on the bottom right part, there is an emergency. Emergency is something that I, that I kind of invented on my own experience. when we were on a scout troop, on a weekend trip, and we missed the very last bus, and we were, I don't know, like 80 or 100 kilometers far from our hometown, and it was Sunday evening, and in that time we had to face the problem how to get our kids back, to the hometown, and as well we had to communicate to the parents, and it was pretty painful to realize which parents are, or which of those parents are there. We had to also take care about the safety of the kids because they were like, doing crazy stuff as the kids do, and it took me a lot of energy to be able to communicate with every single parent what happened. So we would like to also provide a single tool where you can hit one button and write an emergency message. And because you know who is on the trip, you don't have to take care of it because you have filled the attendance before in our Scout app. So just hitting the one click, you can easily send an emergency SMS to every single parent of the kids that are currently attending. So this is our vision. This is something what we would like to provide you, and we are actually working on it right now in our Czech environment. So right now, as you are familiar with what we are providing, we already have a couple another questions for you, which actually Andre will manage right now.
All right, so this is, at least in our eyes, pretty powerful tool, but we have no idea if you have some kind of tool in your country available as well or not. So please, you can just follow the question. There are 6 sliders. So the first one for the app. So if there is any app for Scouts, if there is none, there is a button skip. Then there is the second one, the pink one, that you use several apps, which is not designed for Scouts. That means you can have the Google Drive for the contacts and Trello for the task and Excel and whatever, and you combine them. So that's the second one. And the third one, that you're using only the paper and pencil. And then, of course, how you are satisfied with the solution. So that's the first one. And if there is, if you are not using all of these 3, you can just hit the skip for the app for Scouts or several apps or paper and pencil. And you can also think about the next question if you are done with this one, and it will be about if there is any kind of Scout app in your nation which you use or not. So you can just think about it if you saw something on the internet or some friends use or not. All right, so we have 11 answers, and you're using, some of you are using the paper and pencil and the app for Scouts, but your satisfaction is not so great. More of you are using the several apps which are not designed for Scouts, and your satisfaction is pretty better. But that's probably that you can design everything based on your needs. We have 14, 15, okay. I think that the situation will be really different in different countries and even continents. Right. So we'll take 5 more seconds, 16 and 17. And we can switch to the other one. And if there is any kind of app in your country, please just answer us the name. If you don't know the name, answer yes, and or several of them or only one of them exists in our country. And if there is no, exactly, not yet, great. So you got it. Basecamp, okay. Interesting, no, no, okay. This is really important for us because if we know that there is a space for us to that there is a space for us to provide you some great service, which could possibly save you tons of time and mental energy, and maybe even increase the quality of the program. That would be great step for us or sign for us that, okay, maybe we can help your country, because we are, of course, unable to go to every country right now. So 13, okay. Okay, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, of course. Yes, okay, okay. 15. As I see, some of you are using some apps, but I think not everybody are really satisfied with the solution as the question before, but that's something we can probably improve. Okay, 15. I think we can move forward. And oh, sure. So this one is pretty the same as the last one. I wanted to ask you if you are using something different, some different kind of app than the Scout app. That is great example, the Basecamp or Mappa or Trello, which you mentioned before. So we'll be here only for a few seconds. If there is anybody else who would like to add something from the previous one. Doodle, yeah, okay. Doodle's pretty cool. Formula, yeah, Google Docs. And anybody else? Let's give it like 5 seconds. Because you already answered us. Excel, okay. Social media apps, oh, sure. YouTube, okay, YouTube, Google. Google and SMS, oh, sure. Google Classroom, of course, internet app, only for adult training, yeah, sure. Yeah. So as I see, probably you combine a lot of different solutions, which could be pretty demanding. And an advantage is also that if you have more troop leaders in your troop, that not everybody could be familiar with all the solutions. Okay, we can, thank you very much. We can move forward. I will just introduce you very briefly our vision board, yeah, which is right now we are at the stage 1. And let's say the 30% is something we think from the Czech scouting, yeah, the situation in you may be different. So only 30% right now, scout leaders invest in scouts. And the other, the 70% is like administration, planning, communication with parents, and so. We would like to change the numbers and made from 30% to 70%. So with usage of our app, which could be developed all the time and more functions would be there. So we would like to change the numbers from 30 to 70%. So only 30% would go to administration. And the last stage is to make the pie bigger. So that means we would be pleased if we can, after all, increase the quality of the program, quality of the leaders, by providing them some solutions. Or just one example for all, we can hit your troop members by notification, which says, okay, so you didn't have at your meeting anything about the Scout law last 2 months. So maybe you can, take one program, and here are ABC options. So this is our vision, and this is almost all from us. We can answer the questions right now, and the WOSM promised us that we can send you the email, like kind of the follow-up email with all the information with the presentation, and we will also send you the email with the link, which will lead to our website. It's only in Czech right now, but we'll translate it, and maximum in 1 week we'll send you the So right now, yeah, thanks, Lucky. Right now we can answer the questions, and you can also ask even now more questions.
Okay, so you have more adult recruited from inside of the Scout movement or outside? Well, in the Czech Republic, I would say it's mostly inside. The recruitment usually goes really from the kids as they are getting older and older, then they become the Scout leaders. We in the Czech Republic do not have much outside leaders. It's getting probably more common, but I would say its vast majority is still from the inside. Okay, next question. But is a calendar public? That is probably the question. Yes, the calendar is public, and it works in a way, if we are talking about the calendar of the Scout activities, it works in a way that once you publish something in our Scout app, you can say whether it's going to be invisible or visible to the public. And once it's visible to the public, you can send or you can provide it to anyone, and they can actually use that calendar.
The good thing about the calendar is that you can also export only some kind of events. So let's say the parents don't need to know about your meetings. I mean, the meetings of the leadership when you are solving something. Yeah. So you can specify which one activity would be included in the calendar.
Market answered. Okay, that was answered as well. Okay, this is a good question. Right now, we are developing this application as a volunteer project. Right now, it's for free for our Scout leaders, but we have we have actually reached the phase where the amount of energy that is needed for this is beyond the volunteering plans. So right now, we are searching for a monetization model, and yes, ad will probably be paid. But we cannot say you right now the pricing because we haven't established it yet. Andre, do you have something?
Yeah, I think this question is really related to sustainability. We want to run the app for decades, not for few months. So that's something we really need to be really careful about how it's designed and how it works with GDPR and everything. So that's about voluntary stuff, and it's about some services we need to buy and pay the infrastructure. So there are some costs we right now or for the last year, we with Lucky, we are paying that from our own pockets for all the Czech scouting, but it's not sustainable. So we are looking for some changes in that. Yeah, good question.
Hey, bro. This app is actually right now it's a web application. That means it basically works on all the platforms. It works on Apple. It works on Windows. It works on cell phones as well. So you can run it on your desktop, but you can run it also on a cell phone, for example.
Yeah, and Android included, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I would say it's not really specific. It's up to you how you design the functions of that, but it's mentioned to help you with administration, with communication, and with planning. So planning of the events, of the trips, communication with adults, with scouts, and organization of all information, allergies, and whatsoever. Okay, any idea?
Yeah, I just, if this question was meant to ask for activities like activities for the kids, then right now, not really. In our app right now, you are able to plan an activities for a specific meeting. So for example, if you have a scout leader, he can, or some assistant, he can make a plan of activities on a meeting or on a scout trip, for example. Then you can check it, you can look at it and you can like comment it. Later on as Andre mentioned, our vision, later on, we would like to provide also something for the leaders to make their activities better. So probably it would be really nice if we could be able to share activities throughout another troops, for example, maybe even countries, and we can like also analyze the activities, so we can say we can actually increase the quality of the leaders. But this is something what we are planning. But currently our focus is on that administration stuff, administration, communication, and planning. This is probably, it seems to me, is like a question for general public in here. In the Czech Republic, as far as I know, we do not have any app for collect funds for scout activities. It's usually done by just the scout leaders or troop leaders. And we have a crowdfunding platform on a nationwide level. And that's the way how we can collect funds, but otherwise we do not have anything like that in the Czech Republic. That's a nice question. Thank you. You're welcome.
Definitely appreciate. Yeah.
So the app can be used to communicate between group and NSO, the corrective administrative work, as well as the group and parents. Right now, some part of administrative, it depends what kind of administrative work you mean. Right now, the app is basically meant on the scout troop level and going down. So that means going to parents and going to kids, members, and scout leaders. But we also were thinking about something about going up. That means to NSOs. But currently, because in the Czech Republic, we have probably pretty specific situation where the Czech NSO has pretty robust information system to handle those administration paperwork. So in our first phase, we do not think about it, but of course we are pretty open to think about all those options. So,
but I think it's important to mention that the Czech Scouting has a pretty robust information system, which cooperates with our app, so they can speak together, these two softwares, and provide the information, so you don't have to use, let's say, both of them, but only our app, which communicate with the NCOs once.
Yeah, but in general, guys, the purpose of this session is as well to listen to you. So if you think this is something what you could be interested in, you can kind of benefit of that. Just let's talk after the session, and then maybe we can find a way how to help you, for example. Okay, next question. But is it not an issue for safe from ham internet security? I probably don't know what was the original idea behind this question. But talking about the internet security, right now our app is running on the Amazon servers in Frankfurt in Germany because of the GDPR, which is kind of a security law in the European Union. It needs to be run on the servers inside the European Union. So from the security point of view, the servers are running as I said, on the Amazon servers, which we consider in general pretty secure. And we are actually facing also the security stuff. So the communication between app, the client and server is encrypted and stuff like that. So we take care about the security of the applications, and we would like to, of course, keep all the best practices in this area.
And GDPR included, yeah.
All right. In Belize, most of our groups are from rural area, and most have no access to internet. Some have no electricity and no cell smartphone. One regular smartphone per family at one time. Okay, this is very interesting point. Currently, our application is online only. There is no offline version. We would like to provide in the future the offline version as well, but we will probably not be able to provide a solution right now for the environments when there is no electricity or no internet, unfortunately. Is it easy connected to applications such as via Google Meet, Zoom, Andre, you want to? Andre, do you want to answer the question?
Well, I think this is not really a purpose of our app, so that's something what it's not really important for us at the moment. But it's true that our the COVID project, the Scout Meeting Online, that was pretty similar to Google Meet or Zoom, or it could cooperate with that somehow. So yeah, but at the moment, I would say that it's not our interest. Yeah, that the purpose is a little bit different, slightly. But nice question.
Well, I am not sure how this question was meant. In our app, you can have our structure is actually that we have like scout troops and patrols. So in our app, you can add as many people as you want into the troop or into the patrols, and you can create as many patrols you want and as many scout troops as you want as well. So yeah, I don't know if this was the purpose of the question, if I answered correctly, but yeah, we do not have real people limitations in our app. Andre?
Right now, we don't have the templates, but in the next version, that's something what is really important for us. And as I was speaking about the vision of increasing the quality of the program, this could be one of the tools. So right now, no, but in the future, definitely, yeah, I would say. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe one more. What could be interesting, because we are here from all around the world. Sorry. It could be interesting to be inspired by other countries, which kind of program they do elsewhere. So just a note. Yeah.
Okay, this question is probably okay about the structure. Here in the Czech Republic, we have kind of I would say there is an NSO, and there are another 1, 2, 3, or 4 levels until you get into the unit, into the troop. As we said, right now our application is meant to be like the troop levels, that it should really help the troops. But if you guys believe we can somehow make it more valuable for you, for example, if there are more levels, we can talk about it. But currently our application is meant to this from the troop going down. It's a public calendar with public information. If a public calendar is public, can be an issue for safe. Well, in the calendar, we put only information that are, of course, that can be published. So for example, there is no attendance information for all other parents. So if you have a parent A, he cannot know using our app or calendar whether a member B is going to the trip, for example. So the confidential information are not published in the calendar. You can then log into our application, and depending on your role, you can see only information that are relevant for you, and you cannot see information that are not relevant for you, or that could be confidential. So we really take care about this confidentiality pretty seriously. All right, I think we have all the questions answered.
Definitely, whoever is interested or who liked our attitude, our vision, we will send you the email, as I told you, because WOSM will provide us your email address, which you registered. So I hope that's that's all right with you. And you can also write us the email if you want to think about some kind of cooperation, because here in chat there are some kind of ideas of that direction. And there is also our email, which you can reach us right now in chat. And we have some more minutes with Lucas. So if there is anybody else who would like to speak with us, you can unmute and speak with us. And for the rest of you, we are really happy that you joined our session. It took 1 hour, so we are just at the time. And I'm really happy about all the gathering. Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It was perfect. And I hope we will get maybe even more feedback from you guys if you are interested in some more information. We are totally open to talk to you.
Okay. If there are no direct questions for our two guests, I think I speak on behalf of everyone in thanking Andre and Luki for the time and openness and availability to share this with us. And I hope this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, as the movie line says. And then people that have been here this morning or afternoon or evening will continue to network on this, and let's see if this could become an interesting project that will support scouting in different places in the world where this is needed. Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you very much, Luki. Thank you to all the participants, and thank you again for your interest in the Academy, and see you soon. Enjoy the rest of the day or the evening or the morning. Take care.
Okay. Thank you for good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you all, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it was our pleasure. Thank you. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Muchas
Good day.
ambos. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank
welcome.
you.
Nada.
Thank you.